Hi, it's Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Monday, September 25th, 2023. Before I jump through all the charts, show you everything, I just want to encourage you to please click like if you haven't already, and subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel if you haven't already. Share the content with friends and colleagues if you would, and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos just like the daily Tesla report, daily analysis in the SPY and the Triple Q, that is the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 ETFs, weekly analysis in the S&P 500 index, the NASDAQ 100 index, the long bond ETF, that is the TLT, as well as 2 individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near-term investor. Always looking for 20% moves on those stock picks. You get 5-day free trial up front. You can check out everything we've done over the last couple of weeks, and the 2 stock picks we'll be doing this week for the next 5 days for free. You just sign up for wickedstocks.com, and you've got 5 days to check out everything. And if you don't like what you see, you can bow out, cancel your subscription at no cost to you whatsoever. So, on to the daily Tesla report for Monday. Where to begin? I will start with just the fact that, when was that? Was that in May? That we closed above this descending long-term channel top that had been about 18 months in the making, set off a 2 to 3 month buy signal up to the channel top that is now at 318.77. We certainly tested that for over a month, pushed through it dramatically before falling away. Every weekly settlement we made at or below this, mentioning how you should then allow for the market to fall back to channel support, which did occur about 6 weeks later. That channel bottom now at 233.95. And I'd mentioned after testing that channel bottom, you should allow for a 2 to 3 month rally to channel resistance that begins at 318.77 by one calculation and ends at 336.37 by the final. So that 318 to 336 region considered still. One point I was saying over the next month or two, given what played out last week, I'm going to say over the next 2 to 3 months, we are still able to push into this rising zone of resistance, the top of which is 336.37 and is preceded by 318.77. So that is the big picture. What occurred though last Thursday was a gap lower, certainly settlement below this 1 month rising channel bottom combination 1/3 speed line. This area, if tested this week, can contain buying for the week itself, and below which I have a 1 to 2 week target. We're 2 days into it, down to the 233.95 long-term channel bottom on the weekly chart shown here. So this area in reach this week, perhaps, I don't think it'll take any longer than that. In fact, we may well test it today. And that's really what it looks like. Now, I've been mentioning how we have this rising 2/3 speed line. Where are you? On the daily chart at 241.64. So that is our intraday support. I mentioned how I was going to bump that up to a session containment level, and I think with present volatility and the fact that we are in fact anticipating 233.95 as a 1 to 2 week objective, I just say keep it light at 241.64. That's not to say that if you're an aggressive day trader, you don't buy it. We just might bottom out here for the day and then rally up. Now, upside, I've got 254.47 as our intraday resistance. That's a full 10 points higher than where we are right now. Last Friday's high was 257.78. It's kind of in this zone right here. 254.47, nothing more than a short-term former descending channel bottom that I don't show that can contain intraday buying pressures only. So we could trade inside the 241.64 to 254.47 area throughout the day. If we break or open below 241.64, we should today test the 233.95 channel bottom, which is that long-term support on the weekly chart that can contain selling through October and even the rest of the year, and above which the channel top, well above at 336.37, remains a 2 to 3 month objective. Now, if we close below this channel bottom, and today on the daily chart, I can show you it's at 232.97. On the weekly chart, of course, it's 233.95. If we close the week Friday below 233.95 by a 1% margin, and I've got that marked down here as 231.61, so a Friday settlement of 231.61 or lower does set up our next meaningful sell signal as we move into later October. But I don't want you to have to wait the entire week, certainly, to get out of a long position. If you're bottom picking 232.97 to 233.95. That is the play right now. It is the 1 to 2 week objective. We might see it today. I think we will see it this week. And, so I'm not trying to discourage you from playing alongside. If we test this region, well suited for day traders, well suited for 3 to 5 day swing traders, 3 to 5 week swing traders, and 2 to 3 month traders who are looking then for 336.37. But any daily settlement this week at 231.61 or lower, I wouldn't be crazy about holding a long position into later week. I do see this as our next setup. I don't see that this week, but you never know. If we close today below 232.97, we could fall 199.98 by Friday's close. That would be quite the downside route. On the way down, we do have, right now I don't have it all pegged out, but the high of the low I know that goes back to August is 217.58. I don't see that today, but we will prepare you for all the many levels that occur all the way down to 199.98. I can show you the weekly chart, what it looks like. If we close below the channel bottom of 233.95 by that 1% margin of 231.61 on Friday, and once again, any daily settlement this week at or below that level is also a good sign to bail out of a long position and perhaps play the short side into later week. That descending channel bottom that I showed you a moment ago on the daily chart in the 199 handle is at 197.13 all week long. And we have a trend defining by one measure long-term rising two-thirds speed line that converges with this area nicely over the next few weeks. So if we close today at 231.61, for instance, I think you can begin to set up for a what I would consider to be kind of a mid 190s target. 191.33 rising, 197.13 dropping, and once again on the daily chart, that descending channel bottom comes in today at 199.98. We'll be providing you these levels daily through the rest of the week. But if we close below this 232.97 channel bottom, and let's give it that 231.61 1% violation of the same formation on the weekly chart, then this is our next setup. This could be by Friday's close. This could take the better part of 2 weeks. That would be the next setup. I give that a 1 to 2 week objective then, and that area as represented on the weekly chart once again in the 191.33 to 197.13 region. I'll give it the benefit for the doubt in terms of possibly being able to contain selling through the rest of the year. This is our next long-term support below the 230s. It is a bit stair-step. If we close below 191.33 at the end of any week, this rising two-thirds speed line, it doesn't look pretty through the rest of the year and into Q1. I'll give you those objectives. Yes, we would retest this descending channel top at 159.24 within a matter of weeks, but I think there could be a lot more to go to the downside where that came from if we were to close in the coming weeks below 191.33. So that's all I'm going to cover for the downside. Let's talk about the upside right now. Just know, and before I leave this chart, that this is solid bottom picking territory in the low 230s, 232.97 to 233.95. We can test this area and come off of it aggressively as we move into next week and through the rest of the year. To the upside, once again, we do have 268.24 to 270.83. I don't expect to see this area today, but if we do push through 254.47, we just might. That would be within the realm of what is possible with this stock on an intraday basis. A significant rally day, of course, but if we open higher and push through 254.47 as the day wears on, we could reach this into later day. 268.24 to 270.83, able to contain weekly buying pressures. And from here, we can fall back into the lower 230s within 1 to 2 weeks of doing so. And that is still what's in play right now on a near-term basis. On a 1 to 2 week basis, we're still anticipating 233.95. So on the way up, the upper 260s, low 270s, able to contain this week's highs. And if we do close above 270.83, and I don't see that happening today, but that is an indication of a good low for the week, a good low into what I would say mid-October, because there's your 270s right here. 270.83. I don't show it here, but right about where the cursor is, that 270.83 channel bottom that is right here. You can see it. And if we were to close above that area, 1 to 2 week rally, this is climbing daily at 290.44. 290.44, able to contain weekly buying pressure. So it is stair step. Your next buy signal into next week. Let me put it two ways. You're either bottom picking 233.95. That's your next buy opportunity into next week. In terms of buying strength, I wouldn't buy strength into next week unless we close above 270.83. Then expect 290.44 pretty quickly within 1 to 2 weeks, where we can top out at least on a weekly basis, possibly in the later October. And finally, it would be a settlement above 290.44. That would indicate that 318.77 up to 333. What was it again? Hold on a second. Up to 336.37 within another 2 to 3 weeks if we were to close above 290.44. But I don't want to spend a lot of time on that whole idea. We're a long way from that right now. I will say this, and I sort of neglected to see in the support resistance area. Do I show it anywhere? I do show it here, actually. And this should be noted. I failed to look at 261.18. So let me rephrase all this. I don't see. Let me back up a little bit, and I don't do this usually, but I failed to see 261.18 as an area that we inserted as a session containment level. So if we push through 254.47. Then 261.18 in reach. This could be a daily high, and it would be, let's be realistic, a settlement above 261.18 that then would indicate a test tomorrow of 268.24 to 270.83. All right. I normally would reshoot this video if I made that error early in the video, but because I was at the 10-minute mark already, it's like, okay, I think you can understand. We're so far away from it right now anyway. I had mentioned earlier that if we push through 254.47, we could see 268.24, 270.83 intraday. Let's give 261.18 the benefit of the doubt. It was a high, and then we gapped above it. It held the daily lows. It held nicely on the way down for a couple of days. So yes, 261.18 able to contain session strength. Closing above it, expect this rising band of former support, now resistance, 268.24 to 70.83, able to contain weekly buying pressures. We could come off of here then for the following 2 to 3 weeks back into the lower 230s and climbing. And if we close above 270.83, then you can anticipate 290.44 within a week or two. All right, 12 minutes now, but it was worth it. I'm going to leave it at that for Monday's Tesla. Please click like, share, subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com. You have a great day.